Election officials in Philadelphia are scrambling to make sure voting machines have not been compromised. The Philadelphia Inquirer reports that a laptop and several memory sticks used to program Philadelphia's voting machines were stolen from a city warehouse. Let's bring in Jonathan Lai. He's a reporter focusing on voting and elections at the Philadelphia Inquirer. Jonathan, thanks so much for being with us. So what more can you tell us about this investigation? And is there any concern that this might have compromised the integrity of the election?
At this point, it's unclear. There is an ongoing police investigation into what happened. What we know at this point is that the city's election warehouse, where voting machines and other equipment are stored, there was some sort of a theft earlier this week. A laptop was taken, as well as some of the USB flash drives that are used to program the voting machines. Now, this is happening more than a month before Election Day, which means there is time to do an investigation, check whether the machines have been compromised, and try to figure out what happened here. City election officials, as well as other officials, tell us they don't think that this should at all affect the security of the election.
So you said these memory sticks are used to program the voting machines. Is that right?
That's right. It depends on exactly which ones were taken, and we don't have that level of detail right now. But they are used to do things like set the design of the ballots that are inside the machine, as well as some of them are also going to be used to tally the results at the end of the night. That's how we have the results, the unofficial results, to know who won, maybe.
Right. So are there any suspects? Have we heard anything along those lines?
That's the kind of thing that is still, it's early, it's an ongoing police investigation, nothing we can say.
So during the debate, President Trump specifically called out Philadelphia. It happened after the city opened satellite elections offices to allow voters to cast mail ballots in person. Now, the president said the city was blocking his poll watchers. Do you know what he was referencing there?
That's right, Elaine. So on Tuesday, this was the first day that Philadelphia allowed what they're opening as satellite elections offices. These aren't quite polling places. They're elections offices where voters can go. You can request an absentee ballot in person. You can fill it out on the spot, and then you can return it. Now, there were a few people who said that they were with the Trump campaign there as poll watchers who were not allowed in to monitor what was going on inside these offices. Here's the thing. These are not polling places under Pennsylvania law, according to the experts we've talked to. State and local elections officials say these are election offices. These are not polling places. And furthermore, poll watchers have just not been certified yet for the Trump campaign and the Republican Party. So they don't exist.
So, Jonathan, were there some actual problems, though, with early voting there?
There were a couple of stumbling blocks, a little embarrassing. Soon after this press conference was held to celebrate the start of early voting, the statewide system shut down. So that meant that there were voters who were waiting. They were waiting considerable lengths of time in a few cases, trying to vote, and they simply couldn't. It had nothing to do with Philadelphia. It was a statewide issue. It happens occasionally. The voter registration system simply shut down for a little bit. It was restored, people were able to vote, and it's ongoing at this point. You can go to a satellite election office in Philadelphia and vote.
Wow, that sounds like you said, a very embarrassing problem to have. Well, Jonathan Lai, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.